Please welcome to the stage the very funny Seth Milstein.
Hello. I feel like we need to get the basics out of the way first. Can we all agree that I kind of look like a Jewish turtle who has very serious opinions about the new Modest Mouse single? Okay? Which sounds a lot like their last album from 8 years ago. Doesn't seem it should take that much fucking time, guys. I think I'm the only person in this room that knows how it feels and how difficult it is to sincerely pay your respects to a loved one who has passed away when you peer into their coffin and realize that they have made the eternal decision to get buried in their karate outfit. That happened to me at my stepfather's funeral. He had a terminal disease, so he knew he was going to die, and he wasn't a very mature person. So he had the luxury of being able to plan his own funeral, and he did it much like a 10-year-old would plan their birthday party. Like he was like, let's have a pizza party on Star Wars plates. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty fucking close. Like, we showed up at the funeral home, and they had a television. It was like mingle part of the funeral. I don't know if you guys have been to a lot of funerals. They mingle at the beginning. So it's the mingle part of the funeral, and they had a television screen. And I've seen this at other people's funerals where they have like a memoriam, and usually it's made by the loved ones. And so it'll be like a very touching thing about how awesome that person was and how amazing their life was. But he did his own, which means that he just took us on a tour of his man cave and showed us all of his Led Zeppelin posters and his badass amplifiers. That was great. So then the service starts, right? And we're all like, we're doing the service, people are going up and talking, and then he had stipulated in his will that at a specific point in the service, we would all have to listen to a tape of his band, which was a fucking cover band! We had to listen. A bunch of grieving relatives had to stand around and awkwardly be silent while we listened to a bunch of 45-year-old stoners muddle their way through a fucking poor rendition of The Needle and Damage Done by Neil Young. And then, if that wasn't bad enough, at this point, I'm in my head. I'm like, this is genius. He's having a last laugh right now. This is some brilliant fucking Andy Kaufman prank that he's pulling on us. And then it hits me, oh, this guy's favorite band was Kiss, right? Like, his idea of great comedy was just likening things that are round and there are two of to boobs. Like, that's the high point in his intellectual understanding of comedy. So I was like, that's not it. He just really fucking wanted this to go down like this. And then we get to the stage of the funeral where everybody's going up and everyone's having their moment with the coffin or whatever. And I get up there, I step up onto this thing and I look down into the coffin, and there he is. He's in a blue Lycra karate gi with black trim. It's got Greater Lafayette Area Martial Arts Academy embroidered into the thing, and he's not wearing a shirt underneath. So his like chest hair is alive and thriving still, it was terrible. And then, so I look at him, and I don't know if anybody has been in a sincere moment like where they're staring down at the body of someone they have just lost that meant a lot to them, and have said, man, I'm gonna miss you, you fucking douchebag. Because that's what I said to myself. I didn't want to ruin the funeral. But yeah, it was like, who makes that decision? I mean, he looked like a Puerto Rican Chuck Norris, and that's not racist. He was a Puerto Rican guy that just kind of looked like Chuck Norris. That's a true story. But yeah, I did, and then And then so I started thinking about it, and I remember when I was a little kid, I asked my mom one time. I was like, "Why do we like dress up in the nicest clothes that we have just to get put in the ground? Like that doesn't make sense to me." And she goes, "Oh, well, whatever outfit you're buried in is what you wear in heaven for eternity." And so in my mind, heaven looks like a cocktail party on Mad Men. You know. It's like a bunch of dudes in dapper suits and a bunch of ladies in elegant evening gowns. And then there's one guy, blue lycra karate gi, just wandering around with his ponytail looking a little bit sad, waiting for any one of the original members of KISS to die. Now here's the fucked up part about this story. He was a yellow belt. If you don't know what that means in the world of karate, yellow belt is the second belt, okay? When you sign up for classes, they give you a white belt. That's just to hold the thing closed for the first couple of months. And then the yellow belt they give you after the first couple of months to get you to sign up for another 3 months of classes. Like, that's the only purpose of the yellow belt. That was a stressful funeral to do. He was the second dad that I buried. My real dad died when I was 12 years old. And let me say this, I loved him a lot when he died, but I think 12 years old is the perfect age to lose a father that you're eventually going to grow to hate. Because my father said these words one time in the 80s. We're cruising around, we're listening to AM radio because that was his deal. And Rush Limbaugh came on, a very young Rush Limbaugh. Like, he had to say even crazier shit to get to the point where people would give him the money that he's getting now. And my dad said, Rush Limbaugh's all right, but a little liberal for my taste. That was a real fucking... The guy who we have as, like, the leader, the most extreme dude on the conservative side, like, it was a little bit liberal for my dad's taste. And he fucking meant that shit, too.